Good morning, geographers. I hope you had a relaxing and enjoyable half term break. I know I spent a lot of time making the most of the sunshine rather than being stuck inside all day. So, for this week, we have made it. We're at the end of the development gap unit. As I've told you before the half term, we will be sitting our end of topic test this week. You need to complete this work before you complete the test, or else you won't be able to answer some of the questions in there. So, we looked at tourism very briefly a few weeks ago when we first started looking at some of the strategies to reduce the development gap. This week, we're going to apply that to a case study. We're going to be looking at Jamaica and how Jamaica has used tourism to help to reduce the development gap. So, this is the last of the 8 strategies that we have been looking at for reducing the gap. For this week, we're going to do something a little bit different rather than just me asking you to read the textbook and complete some activities. So, you are the Jamaican Minister of Development and Culture. It's an entirely made up job title. Following a successful campaign in other areas of Jamaica, you now want to expand tourist activities to Black River. I want you to create a proposal for the Prime Minister. So it can either be a Word document or a PowerPoint presentation, or if you are particularly technologically minded, it could be a video. So you want to include, I've got a whole lot of options here. You want background on Jamaica. So where is Jamaica? Describe the location of it. Tell me what the climate is like. Tell me what the main industries are. So we know that there's already some tourism. How else do people earn money in Jamaica? How does Jamaica as a country earn money? I want to know why people visit Jamaica. So what does it have going for it? And then the impact that tourism's already had. So how has tourism already benefited Jamaica? What impact has it had also negatively? So think about not just positives, but also the negatives. I want you to do a little bit of research about the Black River area. What activities can people do near there? Why might they want to visit there? Think about the area. Also think about, the other places, what it might have over other places. Are there fewer people there? Is it a bit more relaxing than, say, going to a crowded beach in Montego Bay? Think about all of that. Then we're going to start analysing some of the impacts. So you need to conduct some of your own research here, and I have got some resources down the bottom to help you out. What social, economic, and environmental impacts will a new tourist hotspot have on Jamaica? I want you to think about the benefits, so the positive impacts, and the negative impacts. Now, as geographers, we call those costs. They're not necessarily financial costs, they're just negative impacts, but we say costs. So remember, when we talk about that, we're not necessarily just talking about the economic side of it. We can also talk about the environmental or social costs. And I want you to be specific. There's lots of information that I've given you in the resources and in the textbook that talks about tourism widely and the impact it's already had. What I want us to start thinking about is the future impact. So, if it's already increased employment, what other benefit will a new tourist spot, what further benefit will a new tourist spot have? I also want you to start thinking about, do the benefits outweigh the costs? So once you've started looking at all of the benefits and costs, which are you still going to go ahead with it? Is there enough opportunities for employment? Do they have enough opportunities for foreign investment? Does it have any impacts on the people who are already living in Black River or near Black River? I want a really balanced argument for this. And then finally, to wrap it up, to act as your conclusion, how will creating a new tourist destination at Black River benefit Jamaica and help reduce the development gap? Okay, that's what we've been studying. Everything has to come back to that. So I've put together just a couple of resources. You can use these as starting points. They're obviously, not exhaustive. You can do your own research. So the first thing is page 216 to 17 of the textbook. So we've got a map which shows you the existing tourist spots. Those are the ones in yellow. We're looking at Black River, which is just down on the southwest. So it outlines the impact that tourism has already had on the economy, on employment, infrastructure, and quality of life, and the environment. So if you think along the terms of those headings for your proposal, then you're setting yourself up pretty well for success. So also saved in class materials will be this presentation. So I've put this together. This is what we are aiming for. So we've got an introduction page. We have a background page. So why people visit there, what Jamaica's like, how has tourism helped Jamaica so far. So just a few details, maybe summarizing what it says in the textbook. Remember, we don't copy straight off it. We put it into our own words to show that we understand what we're talking about. Why Black River? So what does this area have over some of the other areas that people already visit in Jamaica? You can be a bit creative with this as well. Okay, don't feel like you have to just stick to what you found. Try and be a little bit creative. How will tourism benefit Black River? So this is where we start thinking about the social, economic, and environmental benefits. And then we start thinking about the social, economic, and environmental costs. And we want to start thinking about how we minimize these costs. So how do we make sure that the impact of, let's say, the environmental impact of having thousands of people come to a beach that has largely been left alone previously, so the environmental degradation that goes along with that, how do we try and protect the beach to protect the physical land while also maintaining tourism in Jamaica? So, finally, how will a new tourist hotspot in Jamaica, I'll fix it, spelling mistake, help to reduce the development gap? So that's what you're going to be putting together for me this week. If you have any questions, please do drop me an email. It can also be in a Word document if you're not particularly comfortable with PowerPoint. You can just lay out the information underneath the headings. Once the details of the test are available, then you are free to take the test. Remember that it should only take you about an hour, and that we can see the timestamps on those. Treat it like an end of topic test as much as possible, but otherwise I trust that you will all do your absolute best. And please remember that these are just so that we know where you're at now and where we can target some support for you going forward. Okay, so don't stress out about it too much, please. Any questions, send me an email. Otherwise, have a great week.